So do you have what it takes to be in my team? You've got to have your FIFA game on point. Who's winning the tournament then?
I'm winning the tournament. I'm winning the tournament, man. Come on.
Hi and welcome along to AFTV News Daily, the early edition. Hope you guys are all doing well today. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are right now in the world. Oh, I've got my mic here, man. Gee. You know, it's that ad at the start of it that done me, right? Yeah, right. We're live and we're ready to go. I've got to match up everything. We're live and we're ready to go today. And you know what? We're counting down now to the start of the season. Not too far away now, you know what I mean? I'm starting to feel it and touch it, you know what I mean? It's coming, it's getting closer. And yesterday, some of the games, we've all known that we're going to be starting against Manchester City, but we've got a bit more of a rundown of exactly where the games are going to be, because there was a leak of the TV schedule for the games over here in the UK. And I've got a list there that I'll run through. Of course, it all kicks off on the 17th of June, Wednesday, the 17th of June. And the two games on that day is the early kickoff is Aston Villa versus Sheffield United, which is going to be shown over here on Sky. That's going to be on at 6 o'clock. Then the big one, Manchester City versus Arsenal. That's the one that everybody's waiting to see. No disrespect, Villa and Sheffield United fans. And that's going to be on at 8 p.m. UK time, right? There's also going to be games on the Friday of that. I mean, they're really rinsing this. There's games literally every day, but it's going to be games on Friday, the 19th of June, because Norwich are going to be taking on Southampton. And the big one on that night is Tottenham versus Manchester United on at 8 o'clock. So that's another massive game. Then looking at a lot of the other Arsenal games, I thought our game would possibly be on the Sunday of that week, but it's not. It's actually on the Saturday when we're going to be taking on Brighton, 3 o'clock kickoff. The first ever live kickoff at 3 p.m. in the UK. I know guys across the world, you get to watch games all the time at 3 o'clock live, but in this country, you never ever see a live game at 3 o'clock. It's like a rule that we have over here in the UK that, or should I say in the Premier League, where no football game is shown at that time because they want to encourage people to go to watch the games and stuff like that at the ground. However, obviously now there's no fans, so it doesn't make a difference. So 3 o'clock, Arsenal will be taking on Brighton. That's on Saturday, the 20th. Our next fixture is then on the Tuesday. So they're coming thick and fast. Tuesday, the 23rd, we're going to be going away to take on Southampton. That's a 6 p.m. kickoff. Again, that's on Sky, so early kickoff for that one. Then as we move along to our next fixture, is actually the FA Cup fixture against Sheffield United, and that's at 5 p.m. on BT Sport in the UK, 5 p.m. kickoff, followed by Norwich versus Manchester United. That's at 8:15 kickoff. And then when I go after then, our next game is on the 2nd of July, which is a Thursday night. So they're all different dates, but that's a Thursday night. And that is a 6 p.m. kickoff against Norwich City. So lots of games coming really thick and fast. Plenty of games in there. I mean, literally, when I look at that schedule, there is a game every single day of the week, you know, of some sort. There is a game. So there's going to be lots and lots of football when it comes back. That old adage about buses, you wait for one, nothing doesn't come, and then all of a sudden 3-4 of them come along all at the same time. That's what we're going to get with football. We're going to get hit with loads of games, but I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to Arsenal coming back. And with all those games, there's going to be a bit of a rule change to do with these games. Similar to what they've done in the Bundesliga, they're going to allow teams to have 5 substitutes, right? Now, for me, no problem with that, because, you know, you've got to think about the fitness of these players. These are elite athletes. They haven't been playing for ages. We've seen already in the Bundesliga, there's been injuries to players, you know, muscle injuries, because basically you're going from not really training at all for a little while, apart from, you know, doing little stuff on your bike at home and that, to now having to go full pelt in games. And players have been picking up injuries. Players have been fatiguing a lot quicker than what they would normally do. So each team's going to allow to have 9 substitutes on the bench, of which they can use 5 of those substitutes. Now, I was on a Talk Sport last night doing an interview with Hugh Wizencroft, big up Hugh, and he's against this. But I was saying I ain't got a problem with it. It could actually increase the excitement of games. Now, he was saying, and I'd love to get your views on it, one of the points he was making is he's like, you could have a team that's losing a game and they bring on like 4 or 5 strikers to try and win the game. Vice versa, you could have a team that are losing a game that bring on extra that are winning a game that bring on extra defenders to shore it up. So it's going to be interesting how it's used. I think you can't just bring on all 5 substitutes at once. You have to do them kind of in blocks. But I mean, with Arsenal, you think about the amount of attacking players we've got. You could have a scenario where Arsenal all at once have got, you know, Aubameyang, Lacazette, Martinelli, Pepe, you know, and Saka all on at the same time, hunting down a goal. You know what I mean? It could make it more exciting. Then you could say certain teams like a Brighton could lock it off with like 5, 6, 7 defenders all on at the same time. It could make it interesting. But let me know what you think about that. You know, but certainly it's going to be exciting when it comes back. Mesut Ozil yesterday, his agent really hitting out at some of the stuff that was said about him during the week. Of course, there was all these newspaper and headlines around that he'd been dumped by Adidas, right? That was the talk. Adidas have dumped Mesut Ozil. You heard what I had to say about it the other night. I thought it was a lot of mischief making by some of the outlets coming out with that story saying he's been dumped. Well, his agent is more or less saying the same thing as well. He said, these are his quotes. He says, the original story is giving the impression that one side doesn't want the other side anymore. That isn't true. Mesut wants to promote his own brand. He could sign another deal tomorrow. Nobody has the reach he has in the Premier League. So you can imagine what attraction he has for many boots brands. So he's saying that it was an amicable split and he wasn't dumped because of all these reasons that were being given out. Like, excuse me, they were saying things like because of his relationship with President Erdogan of Turkey, because he's been quite outspoken on certain issues, you know, that he'd been dumped by Adidas. His agent saying absolutely nothing of the sort. And that's what I thought at the time. I was like, listen, the guy's 31. Adidas are probably just thinking time to move on a bit from Ozil. He's no longer in the German team. It's just a natural progression. You know, I thought those headlines are really unfair. You know, sometimes I look at some of these things and I'm like, AFTV get accused sometimes. Oh, you guys are negative. Nobody's negative for negative sake on here. Like, if there's been a horrible performance, we'll say it as it is. But we won't maliciously. Some of those headlines that I saw with that, malicious. They didn't need to use the word dumped. And where did they get these things about Erdogan and that? You know, an insider said. Who? You know, it's typical newspaper thing. And I think the agent there has put a lot of that to bed. Now, Arsenal today linked with a young player, plays in League One for Peterborough. Yes, we go to the top clubs. Chelsea are getting Werner. We're looking at a player at Peterborough. But listen, no disrespect to this kid. His name is called Ricky J. Jones. He's only 17, so he's a prospect, and he's absolutely flying at the moment. He's coming and he's been doing big things over there in League One for Peterborough. The club director, Barry Fry, has been singing his praises, saying that Arsenal are one of a host of clubs that are watching him at the moment. He's really, really quick. I think they said he can do like 100 meters in 10.79 seconds or something. He's rapid. And he's been doing really, really well. And Arsenal keeping tabs on him at the moment. A couple other Premier League teams as well. Could it be another addition to the Arsenal Academy come the summer. Again, we're going to have to wait and see how that one pans out, but certainly looking like a really, really hot prospect there. And then another rumour resurfacing today, another old rumour that, you know, I just don't want to see happen. And that's the one about Willian. Now, Willian, yet again, being linked with Arsenal. It's Bleacher Report this time with a story saying that Arsenal willing to give him a 3-year deal. Come off it. 3 years. Not a... if they did that, that would be a dereliction of duty. They did, you know, we'll see now. 33, 32, no chance. You know, I just can't believe that story. I don't think Arsenal are going to be signing Willian this summer. He's on very high wages as well, and I just can't see that happening. But they persist with this. For me, I don't see it happening. Now, we read yesterday that Chelsea are on the verge of signing Timo Werner. I mean, we was doing the show last night. I had Lee Gunner on here, and I had Chelsea fans jumping in, like overjoyed. Now, steady on, it ain't been done yet, but it does look like Chelsea are the club that are going to sign Timo Werner for around about £50 million. Werner is available. There was talk that it would either be Chelsea. We were linked to him as well at one time, but our links were very loose. It was, you know, we weren't going to pay that sort of money. And it seemed like it was between Chelsea or Liverpool for his signature. Looks like he's decided to go to Chelsea. But where does that leave Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang now? As I said in the title of this video, his options seem to be really, really running out, Aubameyang, because, and I'm glad that Chelsea options run out, but obviously Chelsea are no longer going to come in for Aubameyang. There was rumours that they were going to make a move for him, but they're not going to make a move now that they've signed Timo Werner, or on the verge of signing Timo Werner. They're going to be paying him about £200,000 a week. PSG was the other club he was heavily linked to. They have now, you know, signed Icardi, Mario Icardi from Inter Milan. So that's not going to happen. Barcelona don't look like they're going to be doing any big deals this season. The Ousmane Dembele and all players like that they've still got on their books that they can't even get rid of. They just ain't got the money to do those deals. Same with Real Madrid. They're struggling as well. We know Atletico would like a striker, but again, they're very, very, very short on money. So where's he going to go? His options are really, really running out. I've said this before. I doubt he's not going to return to Germany, because Bayern, they don't need a striker. And Borussia Dortmund, they don't need a striker. They've got Haaland. Plus, I don't think they'd have Aubameyang back. So Germany's not an option. France doesn't look like it's an option with PSG. Italy, possibly with Inter Milan, possibly. But that, you know, they've got Lautaro Martinez there. You know, they're saying they don't want to sell him. Nobody might not be able to afford him because he's about 95 million, and they've got Lukaku. Where would he go? Juventus don't need a striker. And if it's to leave to go and win things and win a Champions League or whatever, the options are really running out. And I've said this before, he's the captain of Arsenal right now. He's loved by the fans there. He's not getting any younger. He's got a big decision to make. And for me, he should stay at Arsenal. You know, I would understand it if those dream clubs were on the table of the Real Madrid. We've always heard that rumor that he said he told his grandmother or grandfather that he'd want to play for Real Madrid one day. I'd understand that. I'd understand Barcelona. I'd understand PSG or one of those teams. But it's not looking like any of those are going to happen. And then the other big one, like I said, was Chelsea, and now they've got Werner. Stay put, Aubameyang, right? I mean, the options are, you're at a club, you're not getting any younger, you're loved at the club, you're the captain of the club, new manager in, new exciting project. Stick it out, sign a new deal. So maybe that Werner thing indirectly is going to help us, although these are the type of players I'd like to see Arsenal be looking at. But, you know, maybe that might help us out, because at the end of the day, for me, better striker than Werner, more prolific. Although Werner is a good striker, I think Aubameyang naturally better. Yes, of course, Werner is younger, but what do you want? You just want somebody right now to bang the goals in, don't you? All right, let's get into some of your comments. Thank you very much for all of those. Ashatush, he's always comments on air. Well done to you, mate. He says, "Hello, Robbie. People just start hating that Ozil is dumped by Adidas. He's still a big brand in football, and he wants to explore his own brand. People just talk for talk. Thoughts, Robbie?" And as I said, I said it a couple of days ago. It's very, very disappointing, those stories about him being dumped. You know, he's just a natural. It's just 7 years. He's been there for 7 years. It's just a deal coming to an end. He's very mischievous by some of the headline writers on those stories. Alexander M says, "Can you please do watch-alongs for Arsenal games? Big up, Don Robbie. We're going to be making some big announcements on a lot of the stuff we've got planned around all of the games that we're going to be doing. Let's just say we're all over it, right?" Mipato says, "Chelsea have already secured 2 signings, Ziyech and Werner. What is Arsenal doing? Is there anything in store? We're getting beat up next season." Let's remember with the Chelsea thing, and I said this last night when Lee was on, Chelsea had a transfer ban. This is why they're in a very good position at the moment, better than anybody else, because for 2 transfer windows, they didn't buy anybody. You know, all right, I know Ziyech the deal was sort of done. They haven't actually paid it. It was be paid at the end of the season when he actually leaves. But for 2 transfer windows, they did not bring in any player. They had that ban, and they was not allowed to bring in any players. They'd sold Hazard, they'd sold, you know, a couple of players. So they're in a great position right now to buy players, and that's why they're able to do that. For a lot of other clubs, it's more of a struggle because, you know, they just don't have the budget right now. So that is why Chelsea are stealing a march on everybody at the moment. And listen, fair play to them. They've done very well in the transfer market so far. Dorian says Arsenal should get Lewandowski. Well, no chance of that. And again, how old is Lewandowski? You know, that's what I'm just saying, man. His age nowadays is just a number if the player is still in great condition and banging in those goals. Hitro says, depending on Chelsea signing Werner to keep our best player says a lot. Fans with big voices need to demand better. Too lenient on the owners, hierarchy and players, or else we're going to be a mid-table club. Hitro, we got to wait and see what they do this summer. I mean, it doesn't look like they're going to be doing big things this summer, but we got to wait. You know, we haven't even got to the transfer window yet. The Audi Cup says, watch out for Chelsea next season. Werner this season has more goals than the likes of Kane, Aubameyang, Aguero. What pisses me off is that Chelsea are only getting him for just under 50 million. Remember, he has played a lot more games now because their league has been going on longer. So, you know, I'd say more judge it at the end of the season. But there is no doubt he is a very, very good player. And for Chelsea, that is a very, very good signing. He's not a rubbish player. He's a quality player for without doubt. You can't hate on that signing. It's a very, very good signing by Chelsea. Don Robbie Burner account says, big up Don Robbie. What do you think of a Coutinho, Aubameyang, Barcelona swap? No, not really. Again, you know, I just don't want to be losing our best players. That's me. You know, I've seen us doing it for so many years. Whatever happened to building a great side, you know? That's what I want to see. I want to see us build a great team. And you build by keeping your best players. Quan Kenny says, Robbie, love from Malaysia. If Aubameyang leaves, do you think Cavani is the right replacement? Again, Cavani's he's a bit old now. 33, 34. No, I don't think Cavani would be the right replacement. Hercules London says, Robbie, I think we should just admit it that we're going down quickly. We will soon be a team in the lower leagues like Leeds that were once great, but just a distant memory. No ambition as always. It's not that bad. Come on, chill. It's not as bad as that. It's not great, but it's not as bad. Let's see what we do when the season comes back. Really Scooter says, imagine Aubameyang leaves and we get Willian. Also, why can't we send a youth player to the Bundesliga so they can develop faster? Well, we've done that with Reece Nelson. Remember, he was at Hoffenheim. Leon says, hi, Robbie. I think we need to start thinking about bringing in a potential top striker like Osimhen or Edouard, who will replace Aubameyang. When he's too old, sorry, or start playing Eddie Balogun, etc. A lot of people holding up on Balogun. He hasn't even made a first team appearance yet. You know what I mean? We can't rush these kids. We can't. Sean Taylor says, I'm a United fan. Arsenal and United are owned by people who just care about lining their pockets. Chelsea are run like a football club, not a business. No doubt the Chelsea owner, he loves that club and he's always sinking his money in. You can't fault him for that. Twisted Barber says, Arsenal build the foundations, but never the house. Big trouble ahead. So again, that's another guy that's not too pleased with what's going on at the moment. Tazzy says, Aubameyang promised his granddad he would play for Real Madrid when he died. If Real wants him, he will go. But that's what I'm saying. If they want him, but at the moment, does that look likely? It doesn't. It doesn't. Indemil says, it's easy for us fans to get jealous by the transfer of Werner. But let's be honest, we don't need strikers. Since we have Aubameyang, Lacazette and Nketiah, let's focus on the priorities. Centre-back, right-back, defensive midfielder. Very, very good point. Obviously, strikers are always, you know, the glamour signing. And everybody wants a good striker, you know. But he's right. We don't need a striker right now. What we need to do is give Aubameyang a new deal, keep hold of him, and then, you know, go out there and get those positions that we desperately need to fill, the spine of the team. So I think that's a really, really good, comment there. Ben Cook says, I think this pandemic, as sad as it has done Arsenal a favour. I really think if we were in a different situation, Aubameyang would have gone. As Lee reported, the contract had been on the table since December and still nothing. Might as well sign as nowhere else to go. I'm not sure if that contract's been on the table since December. I'm really not sure about that at all. But the pandemic, with regards to Aubameyang, really could do us a favour. Really could do us a favour because, you know, I do also agree with you, Ben, that I think he would have gone otherwise. There would have been clubs with a lot more money that will be coming in for him. BRF Cherry says, I'm a Bristol Rovers fan. Big up Bristol Rovers. I've got a good friend of mine is actually my good friend's Bristol City, so you probably wouldn't get on with him. But he says, I'm a Bristol Rovers fans, Robbie, and I've seen Ricky J. Jones play. He's one of the fastest players I've ever seen. Definitely a future Premier League player. He says, up the gas. So there you go. And that's one of the players that Arsenal are looking at, and he's playing down there for Peterborough in League One. But you heard the guy there said definitely a future Premier League player. Vivian Chopra says, hi, Don Robbie. If there's talks of signing Partey, we have to think about selling Lucas first. Juve have 5 to 6 quality midfielders and have a selection headache, while we have to do with makeshift players in position. Yeah, we need to sort it out. We need to sort it out. Dr. Virard says, hi, Robbie. I think Aubameyang will sign for another season. Also, I think the reason he's stalling on the decision is because he wants to see if Arsenal have the ambition to make any big signings in the summer. Yeah, listen, maybe he's keeping his options open to see what happens. But I just look at it and just say to myself, where is he going to go? The options are running out. If the ambition is to go to a club where you're going to win a load of, win the Champions League. Alex Brown says, hey, oh, Robbie, he goes, got to feel sorry for Arsenal fans. Werner is going to batter your back line. Generally feel sorry for you guys. Okay. chill out, man. I mean, Timo Werner, they haven't signed Messi. You know, we've all still got to see if he comes and delivers. It could take him time to hit the ground running. I do like him though. He's a good player. I'm not gonna hate on that signing. It's a good signing. Daniel Anderson says Aubameyang will go Liverpool. He can fill in for them. I think as a left winger as well, and it's cheaper than Werner. Then pulls out of Werner because of the price tag, or they pulled out of Werner because of the price tag. I don't think. Why would he want to go to Liverpool to possibly be on the bench? No, I couldn't see that move. Emmanuel Bandak says we need to build around players like Aubameyang, Lacazette, and Pepe. If we want to think like a big club and compete in the near future, don't sell any of them. Offload the dead wood instead. Exactly my thought. We've got to build it. John Layett says, I heard also a link to an 18-year-old Samuel Duncan who plays from Gillingham. I think somebody said this a couple of days ago. Again, I don't really know much about him. Hussein says, hey, Robbie, what did you think of the Benfica game yesterday? They had fan sounds coming through the speakers. One of the things that's being talked about in the Premier League as well. I actually see it. But I have seen that as one of the things being spoken about. Saram says, happy birthday, Tierney. Is his birthday today, Kieran Tierney. Guna Gamer TV says, Ben Rama, could be our Mo Salah. He's a very good player, Ben Rama. Aubameyang on the wing is like Sadio Mane. Put Martinelli down the middle is our Firmino. Throw in a loans Coutinho, Partey, Laka, swap and Papagay, and then we can compete. A lot of players there, a lot of assumptions as well. He can be the new this and the new that. Pranoy says Aubameyang will sign the team. How do you know? Let's hope you're right. Got a few more coming in here. Black Badger said Memphis Depay would be a good sign. He's been playing very well ever since he left the club. So he's been doing really, really well ever since he left Man United, should I say. He's been doing very well. But again, he wouldn't be cheap, Memphis Depay. He wouldn't be cheap. But, you know, I don't know. I think a player like him would want to come back to the Premier League and really prove himself because he didn't do well when he came to the Premier League. Sam says, rather than a team of 18 to 22-year-old players, no, sorry, I read it wrong. He said, rather have a team of 18 to 22-year-old players with 2 to 3 experienced players. Go by Almeida, Veron, Tonali, someone like them, then wait 2 years at least, and then we have the potential good squad for challenging. Why not add these type of players right, you know, add some of these players with some quality right now and challenge, you know? The Chase says, hey, Robbie, generally don't understand the amount of hate for that Lacazette gets, but also not sure where his lack of form has come from. That being said, I can't see either Laka or Aubameyang going this summer. Definitely, Lacazette has to step up to the plate. You know, what I'd like to see from him is him finish the season strongly. You know, because he could put a whole different outlook on his season. I think he scored about 9 goals. Come back, hit the ground running, finish the season strongly. But we'll have to wait and see. All will be revealed, I suppose. Pav says, what's your video with Lee Gunner from last night? Rupert Lyle, Robbie Lyle, laugh out loud, but he says, Rupert Lyle, you are the Don. Robbie, but Fabrizio Romano is the Don Dada of football transfers. This is the guy that Lee Gunner was bigging him up last night. Fabrizio Romano said this, and Fabrizio Romano said that. It was a very entertaining show last night. Daniel says, did you watch the Arsenal Foundation last night with Matt Lucas? I didn't. I was very, very busy last night, so didn't get a chance to watch that. Big up Matt Lucas. Been on AFTV before. Really passionate Arsenal fan and a really funny guy as well. Alexander says, why is the party deal taking such a long time to get done? I don't even know if he started yet. It's no secret he wants to come to Arsenal. Arsenal reportedly have enough money to bid. Get the damn deal done already. Damn Don Raul. It's not as simple as that. If only it was as simple as that. Right, we're going to do two more. It says Arsenal has Arteta. That's what the other Premier League teams don't know. So he's putting a lot of faith in Mikel Arteta. We got to hope that Arteta can perform some miracles at Arsenal right now. Really get this team going. There are some decent players in that team. You know, if he can get them going. And let's do one more from somebody who hasn't spoken yet, which I'm trying to get. Let's do this one. John C says, Robbie, would you sign Cedric on a free? I'm going to be really interested to see what Cedric does. You know, obviously, you know, Cedric come on loan, hasn't played yet. I'm going to be really interested to see what he does from now till the end of the season, because we've had a problem at right back. And if Cedric can come in and have some strong performances, and I expect to see him play, because there's so many games that surely he has to play. Let's see if he can improve the dynamic of that right-hand side. That could really change what Arsenal do. Thanks for watching the show today. We're going to be back tonight, of course. Also, I'm looking to get some of you guys back on as well. We've got that long list of you guys. So we're going to try and get in contact with some of you guys today about getting you on as well, maybe over this weekend. Thanks for watching the show, and I'll see you later.